This is a big matchup, and well, yellow jersey for Brisa. What's on the line here? And then Carissa Moore, well, we know what she's capable of, so this is going to be a great heat.
And it is a huge day here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach, as we will be crowning our champions, and a feisty exchange at the start for Carissa Moore and Brisa Hennessy. Carissa getting this first wave over Brisa. Nice snap to start off. Unleashes a little bit more on that second turn. And a wrap in for the third. Now she's going to play with it here to set up for that big inside section. A great looking set for her to get her campaign underway, and puts on a solid finish. Shannon Hughes and former CT standout Richie Levitt here in the booth.
Get really, really critical with her turns. Bring something new. And let's watch the replay. Great size wave here for Carissa Moore. You can see just pumping off the bottom, calculated turn off the top, drives around again, full wrapping cutback, and just pay attention to the board. You can see it bouncing around a little bit, and they're those little micro creases in the wave that I was telling you about. Sometimes hard to navigate through, but she gets to the finish.
And scores in that 7.33. Kaipo, what are your thoughts on that opening exchange?
Well, Shannon, I'm out the back with Dominic, and I can talk to you about how everything went from the very beginning. Brisa paddled out over the reef over here behind the wave. Carissa took another route. She came out here through the channel. She was able to study all the waves, but Carissa was was okay with giving Brisa the inside when we had that open priority. That first wave came through, and Brisa couldn't catch it even though she was on the inside. Carissa gladly took it, performed on the wave, and really is throwing a lot of pressure right from the get-go into semifinal number 2.
Oh, I love that insight. Thanks so much, Kaipo. And really interesting to see that in that replay, Richie, of how close it was for that opening exchange and Brisa not able to get into it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, whether Brisa just didn't really...
That in itself is a massive achievement for me, and I feel incredibly lucky for everyone that I have around me, and also the people that have helped me work this hard to get back. It's not easy to rebuild after 2 years out of the water. So
Brisa with the last exchange. Talk me through it, Richie.
Yeah, great looking wave here for Brisa. Wow, goes really high off the top and manages to keep that edge of a board just connected to the wave. A nice wrapping cutback and a second one. Brings it all the way through, and you can just see this angle here gives you a great idea of just how bumpy Carissa on the second wave of the set. A bit smoother, and you can see holds her line just fractionally longer, but then it flattens out a little bit through this middle section. Carissa just doing some great transition work, rail to rail, keeping the board moving, keeping that speed, allows her to hit that final section, which did try and bump her off.
Just under the 10-minute mark for semifinal number 2 for the women's draw here at the Rip Curl Pro Bells Beach. Carissa Moore currently in the lead, with Brisa Hennessy taking off now and an opportunity to fight back. Just her second wave of the heat. She sat so patient waiting for that first one. And nice 2 snaps up into the lip to start things off. A wider carve for that second, and a third connected through to this inside section. She's now waiting for it to stand up. Looking really smooth, looking good on her board. And now an incredibly important finish for Brisa Hennessy, as she is playing catch up to Carissa Moore. As we take a look at this one, it came through as a 7.07.
Great comeback wave for Brisa Hennessy. This second turn, I loved it. Very committed in a critical part of the wave, and a third hit there. But it was all that second turn for me. I loved it. She just attacked, showing no signs of any nerves. And as you said, Shannon, just keeping the board going, the momentum building all the way through to the inside. She wants to finish cleanly and leave a good impression in the judge's eye, which she does. So 7.07, she's starting to build the gap here. This first turn, great form. And it's this second one here that really impressed me. See how much tighter it is in the pocket, goes higher, up into the lip. Like right on the edge there. If she had pushed just...
We saw this now from Carissa Moore. Lays into that first turn on the answer back to Brisa and goes down. So scores to come through from that exchange just before our break.
We got a couple waves coming through right now, and it looks like it's going to be Carissa Moore on the paddle.
There we go. Carissa using priority on this one. A smaller size wave, but a great pocket lining up in front of her. Clean snap to start. Goes for a big turn on the second section, and a wrap back into the pocket. Now lining it up through the inside, really cutting back to the left to make sure she's able to gain that speed, stay in some sort of power section as that wave hits the dead area. And now here we go, fighting back, putting all that pressure on her front foot, and gets a really clean punch to finish off.
Yeah, great finish. 2 major turns outside. She's starting to show the judges just something new. She's starting to mix it up a little bit. And that's the beauty of having 2 decent scores.
She's had some great surfing, but just unable to touch above that 7-point range. She's got a 7.07 on the scoreboard now, chasing a 7.43 to take the lead away from Carissa Moore. They've had a few CT matchups in their past, and Carissa getting the better of them. Now having another lap here. She just found that momentum early on in this heat. The 5-time world champion, the 3-time bell ringer, looking for an opportunity to book herself into the finals again. It's Carissa Moore with a great couple of turns to kick things off. And now, finding that speed, that momentum that she requires to put on the exclamation point on the finish. This wave looking soft, but Carissa finding that flow throughout and showing the judges why she deserves her 21st head-to-head matchup against Tyler Wright.
Yeah, great surfing.
And with that victory for Carissa Moore, she will be taking the yellow jersey into Margaret River with a great matchup against Brisa Hennessy here in the semifinals. An excellent result for Brisa. She's having the year of a lifetime here on the championship tour in her 3rd season, but it's the 5-time world champion and the woman who wants to match the 4 bells with Lisa Anderson and Steph Gilmore. Carissa Moore has booked herself a spot into the finals against Tyler.